Hello and welcome to the Cold Coffee Club, a podcast brought to you by Houston Moms. We're here to give you a little bit of that mom-to-mom connection, fun, and conversation amidst all the chaos. Join us as we take a break from doing all the things and explore the wide spectrum of this crazy motherhood role. We'll interview fun guests, talk about cool grown-up topics, laugh, share, and grow together. So go ahead, reheat that coffee, and put your feet up. Here we go.
Oh gosh. Hello. Welcome to the Cold Coffee Club. Ashley and Jenny here for another episode.
Hello.
Yay.
Here we are.
Yay.
We've already been chatting for a solid 32 minutes,
Yes.
but we're
And it has all
excited
been
to bring
hysterical.
y'all into the conversation. And today we're talking about a very heavy topic, and that topic is television shows.
Yes.
So just real meaty and getting real into the nitty gritty.
It's the hard-hitting stuff right here, folks.
Hard hitting, really heavy.
Yes.
We're excited to talk about because we were, obviously a lot of us do. After the kids go to bed, we'll stay up for a little bit and watch some TV.
Yes.
And so we record things, or you kind of have your binge watching. Kind of, what's your style? Do you kind of watch one show at a time, where you just sit down and you're going to watch one show episode after episode, or do you watch multiple shows at once? What's your style?
It depends. Sometimes I'm like, I have to watch all of this right now because I need to know what's going to happen. And then other times it's like, okay, I'll watch one or two and then move on to the next. So it kind of just depends. Depends on what my mood is. And if I have the time to sit there and only watch a show after show after show.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
What about you?
Yeah, I'll do I'm watching one series at a time, but then I will sprinkle in my comfort shows.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a comfort show is? A comfort show is a show that you have seen a million times that you keep going back to.
Yes.
Especially if I'm watching something kind of heavy or upsetting.
Yeah.
I will sprinkle in my two main comfort shows right now are The Office and New Girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I will watch something kind of heavier, and then I will, as a palate cleanser, watch an episode of New Girl before I go to bed, because I just don't want to go to sleep with some heavy crime based.
Yes.
I'm like, well, that's a lovely thought to go to bed with. Instead, I'm going to go to bed with Jim and Pam from
exactly,
The Office. Okay, so what is your comfort show?
So The Office is definitely one of my go-tos. I have watched The Office so many times, it's ridiculous. And then I watched that show Impractical Jokers. Have you ever heard of it? Yes. Oh my gosh. I will watch that all the time and still laugh at it like it's new. I'm like, oh, you got him. Ha ha ha. Yep. So much fun. Yeah.
But what are you watching right now? Not comfort level, but what are you currently watching on TV?
So I'm watching a few things. So Love is Blind. We just finished season 2. It is bananas. It's absolutely insane. And no favorite couples this season that I just adore like I had last season. So that was kind of a drag, but still fascinating.
That's on Netflix?
That is on Netflix. Okay. I just watched The Tinder Swindler, but I think that's actually a movie on Netflix. Abbott Elementary is so funny.
I'm going to put that, I'm writing that down. I'm going to put that on my to be watched list, because everyone I know is you have to watch Abbott Elementary.
It is so funny, so cute. I love that the cast is very diverse, which is fun. Love it. Absolutely hysterical. And just, I'm not a teacher, but I can see all my teacher friends. I'm like, oh yeah, girl, I've heard stories. This is relatable. I get it. That's on Hulu. And then, so Tulsa Burning is a History Channel documentary, but it's on Hulu as well. And it covers the Tulsa race riots,
Got it.
early 1900s. it is very deep and it's on my list to watch. And so I kind of have to get in the mindset to watch that. So
Right.
I know that there's a lot of heavy stuff going on in the world and I'm not exactly sure if I want to go heavy right now. And then there's a show on Peacock called The Courtship, and this is kind of my replacement for Love is Blind. It's kind of like Bridgerton meets The Bachelorette. And I heard about it. Yes, I heard about it and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to jump on that. So that's my next one. And then there's Joe versus Carol on Peacock also. If you got into the 2020, yes, the whole Tiger King 2020 phenomenon, you need to go ahead and watch this. And it stars Kate.
It's Kate McKinnon.
Yes,
Kate McKinnon from SNL.
Yes.
I'm very intrigued by her doing
I adore her. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta watch this.
Fabulous. She's so talented.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So those are my shows that I'm watching or about to watch that I just have to see. So yeah. Okay. What about yours? Tell me what you're watching.
So I have been watching Inventing Anna. Speaking of bananas, let's talk about Anna Banana. Inventing Anna is on Netflix. It is a Shonda Rhimes show. Shonda Rhimes, who does Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, and it's a limited series. Murder. Yes, it is a limited series, meaning like after this season, that's not coming back. It's just 10. I think 9 episodes or 10 episodes, 9 maybe. And it is based on a true story about a journalist who is doing a story on a German heiress named Anna Delvey, who kind of takes New York City by storm. She's like a socialite that kind of is mixing in with all these elites and kind of going to these fabulous parties. And anyways, she's a German heiress, or is she? And that's not a spoiler. It's very evident in episode 1. I'm not trying to. Everyone's like, well, give it away, Jenny. Anyways, Ad is on Netflix, and we are 1 episode away from finishing the series, and it is just crazy. So that's very good. And it's really funny because I don't know if you've watched the show Ozark.
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay, so the girl that plays Anna, who is very, like I said, the German heiress and very wealthy and posh, is the same girl that plays Ruth on Ozark. And Ruth on Ozark is very country and backwoods and a little bit of a bumpkin character. And so the juxtaposition of having her as like very very country on Ozark, and then having her like very like in Chanel and Dolce & Gabbana and everything on Inventing Anna, it's just very different, and it's really cool to just see her play both of those roles so well, but just so differently. And then as soon as we finish that, I'm going to get started on season 4 of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon.
Okay.
I love that show. It is such a good escape. It's very funny. It's a comedy. I mean, there's some drama moments in it too, but it stars Rachel Brosnahan, and she is it's set in the 1950s, and she is a female comic in the 1950s, and the costumes and the sets, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful show and very funny, and she's a mother, and it's wonderful. So
I've been meaning to watch that.
It's really, it's great. It's good at like just escapism, and it's very, very well written. So that's on Amazon.
Okay.
So that's our little talk on TV. We'd love to hear what all our listeners, we want to know what you're watching and what you recommend. I always love hearing about recommendations. So go to our Instagram post about this episode and tell us in the comments what you are watching. We want to know.
What are you watching? Yes, absolutely.
And, we're going to put all the links to what we're watching and what platforms they're on in the show notes.
Yeah.
So Ashley, give me a mom high from this week. What is a win, a motherhood win that you've experienced this week?
So I have never made lasagna before, and I was craving some, and I did not want like a Stouffer's lasagna. I wanted to do it myself. I whipped up a lasagna that I'm quite proud of. I'm very excited. My children loved it. They're like, this is so good. And I had my doubts because it did not look as pretty as I thought it would, but it ate well and everyone
Yes.
was happy. So I'm
Yay.
super pumped about that.
I do think with lasagna, I make one that everyone really loves, and it doesn't like stay in the like little square shape very well. It gets very messy, but it tastes very good. So
Yep.
I'm in
Yep.
the camp of I don't really care how it looks.
Yeah. Just eat
But
it.
more power to you. If you can get it real consistently in its little box shape, then
Yes.
congrats.
What about you? Tell me some
Mine
good
is
stuff.
my daughter is 9 and really loves musicals and theater. And the two of us went along with my mom and sisters and nieces. We went to see Hamilton this weekend.
Yay.
And it was her first real time to go see like a big musical, and loved it. And it was really fun to go do that with her. And just she felt all grown up, and it was just this real special memory. And just I grew up doing musical theater, and to be able to share that experience with her, and she had all the questions, and it was just I just love getting to be able to experience new things with your kids as they get older. It's one of my favorite things about kids growing up. I know it's really sad the kids get bigger, but one of my favorite things about kids getting bigger is getting to be able to do new things with them that they, when she was 4, I could not have done this with her.
Right.
But
right.
when she is, 9 turning 10, there's a lot more stuff I can do. And it just makes me really excited about stuff we're going to get to do as she gets bigger and bigger. It just makes me really excited.
That's super exciting. That's sweet.
Yeah.
I'm sure she loved it. That's amazing.
So we always love to do our cream and sugar. So that's something fun in Houston we're doing. So tell me, what's your cream and sugar this week?
So I was doing some research about a place to do like those aerial like workouts experiences because I have a girls trip coming up. A bunch of my sorority sisters are coming to Houston, and we found a place called The Arts, and I was a friend of mine had actually tagged them in a post a while back, and so I was like, let me go back to that. And I did my research, and they look so awesome. They do classes for adults and children. And so I was thinking about that. I was like, my kids would love that too. And I forget what it's called, but it's like that hoop thing that you can kind of spin, like it's a hoop and you stand in it and spin around. They do stuff like that. So it just looks really interesting. And it looks like a great place to take a group of friends. And so I am in the works of setting that up for my sorority sisters. I feel like that would be a fun bonding experience.
Fun.
Yeah.
What a great girls' night.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's here in Houston, and they offer all kinds of classes, and they do performances and shows and stuff. So that'd be kind of a fun thing to check out. Yeah. So
that's great.
I'll keep you all posted how it goes.
Yes. I want to see videos and photos, and
I don't know about that. Not of me. Like, this is an unflattering angle, me trying to hang
I'm going to broadcast
down.
it on the Houston Moms page, Ashley. Come on.
Yeah, about that. What about you? What's your cream and sugar this week?
Oh my goodness. We did a Houston Moms event last week. We went to Bowl and Barrel. It is in City Center in the Memorial City area. And it is this really cool bowling alley. And not like your regular bowling alley, where like the kind you went to when you were little. This was like a nice bowling alley, and it had the best food.
Oh,
like
so good.
Soft pretzels with like the great dipping sauces, and they had these like little tiny hot dogs that were really good.
Oh, they were
and
so
they
good.
had, what else did they have? What I'm blanking. Oh, there was
they had like a really fun charcuterie, and they had oh gosh, I don't remember. I ate they had these it was like an empanada.
Yes. That was the word I was looking for. It was so good. And then they just like were really like, the staff was fantastic. Like we had a pretty big group there. And not only were they like super attentive and really timely, and like you'd be like, I will have this drink, and like 20 seconds later they're like, here you are. You're like, how did you do that? But they also didn't seem overwhelmed at all by our big group. Like they just were super chill and nonchalant. And then you're bowling, and it was just a really fun girls' night. And I think it'd be great for a birthday party or Anyways, it's called Bowl and Barrel,
Yes.
and highly recommend. It was a really great experience.
And they were super patient with us, cracking up, being like silly and trying to take pictures with selfie sticks that just were not happening, and us yelling and just cracking up. They're just like,
but
have
I
your
do
fun.
need to know if you want to refill. And
Yes.
we're like, but hold on, we're not finished.
What size shoe do you wear?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
Please answer the question, ma'am.
They were
when
very
I looked
nice.
over and Joy had that selfie stick, it just made me so happy. I was
And
like,
she was
she
screaming, look at the hole. And we're like, what hole?
Gosh. Lord.
Oh, we were a hilarious little mess.
Yes.
But yes, we had a blast. Absolute blast. So let's do our Houston Moms House Blend. What was your favorite post, at least this week? What were you loving on the site?
Yeah. I loved from Ashley B, not my current Ashley that I'm looking at, but the other Ashley. She did a really great post about, I think it was called Third Time's the Charm, lessons I learned from my third baby. And she had her third baby in the last year, and just kind of wrote about, kind of what you expect, and just kind of having what it was like going from 2 to 3 and dynamic changes. And I think that's a question that comes up a lot with moms is, how is it going from 1 to 2 versus 2 to 3? And anyways, I just think it's relatable, and I just loved it. And I think she just did a great job on it. So how about you?
So I've been really trying to practice self-care, and like with everything going on in the world these days, it's very easy to be stressed out and overwhelmed. And Sean, one of our newbies, she wrote a post called 3 Ways to Start Meditation with Your Family. And so I felt like my children need some sort of like calming activity. They're very high energy little boys. And so having, an outlet that just helps bring you back to center, relax a little bit. I thought her post was great. It had a lot of great tips to kind of incorporate meditation in your day-to-day. And so I found that super useful, and, a great way to kind of start introducing that to my children.
I love that.
Yeah. It was really nice.
I think she's a really great addition to our
absolutely
writing team. She's written some really great stuff for us so far. I love having her on board.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have a see you later caffeinator for us today?
Absolutely.
What kind of little trivia tidbit?
Yes. So since we're talking about TV shows, I found this one really fitting, and this one was just so sweet to my heart. So apparently every sweater that Mr. Rogers wore on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was hand knit by his mother.
Okay, I can't.
Right? Oh my gosh.
It's just
so sweet. Moms are the best.
And
it's adorable.
Mr. Rogers' mother is the one where we get his wonderful phrase of look for the helpers. Whenever there's a tragedy. She's the real one. Shout out to Mr. Rogers' mom.
Yes.
VIP.
Yes. Oh, and side note, speaking of awesome mothers who have given us great things, I want to do a quick shout out to your mother, because apparently she is a fan of the Cold Coffee Club.
Yes. Hi, Mom.
And I love that she listens. I think that is so sweet. What is your mom's first name?
Her name is Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Shout out
Cheryl
to Cheryl.
Is a listener.
Yes.
Cheryl, she told me the other day that she's been enjoying. So
I love it.
We know of at least one listener in the Cypress, Texas area. So thank you, Cypress, Texas, Cheryl. We're happy to have you.
Thanks for giving us Jenny.
Yes,
thank you.
More and more like her every day, I feel, but that's a wonderful thing to be. She's amazing.
That must be a great thing. Yes. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this week. It's been a blast as usual. Go watch some shows. Give us your recommendations. Tell us what you think about our show recommendations. So yeah, we'll see you next week.
Coffee.
All
right. See y'all.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cold Coffee Club, brought to you by Houston Moms. We wish you a fabulous week with your families and look forward to sharing many more cups of cold coffee with you.